Welcome back to my channel, Life Between Words. I am here in Chicago with some of my very favorite booktube friends, and now my friends in real life. Why don't we all introduce ourselves?
Hi, I'm Jess, and my channel is Jess McGlynn.
And I'm Julie from A Girl in a Book.
And I'm Molly from Mollie Reads.
We thought it would be fun to do a Q&A, so we sent out a message on Twitter and Instagram, and we've got some questions, so we're just gonna go ahead and answer them.
Yeah.
So the first question is, appropriately, I know nothing about this group, so how did you all meet?
We kind of answered this question in a previous video that we just filmed, which you can check out on my channel. But we literally just met in real life this weekend in Chicago.
And we discovered each other on Booktube. That's really it.
Yeah, we all started our channels around the same time.
Molly wanted to start a book club on Voxer, and so we did, and the rest is
The great
here we are now.
If you want to hear a more in-depth answer, go over to Molly's channel.
Check it out.
What was the book that made you fall in love with reading?
Ooh, this is such a hard question.
I know.
I have been a reader for as long as I can remember,
Me too.
so I couldn't tell you
Me too.
the first book that I read.
Yes.
There are so many that I remember reading as a kid that I love.
I can remember reading the easy reader books like when I was learning to read.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites was called Fraidy Cats. I read that thing over and over and over again, and it had scary things in it.
Aww.
So
everything's full circle.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I don't remember a time in my life when I was not a reader. So my go-to answer is always Matilda because it was the first.
That was one I read too.
Yeah.
He was a reader, so it's like
Yes.
you want to be like the reader.
And you feel like you can like connect with her, and then I'm like, man, I wish I could.
Yeah.
Right. So it was the first book that I remember just falling in love with so much that I just wanted to consume it constantly.
I think what made me fall in love with reading, or just like beautiful language in general, was probably not until high school when I read The Perks of Being a Wallflower, or a totally different kind of book, An American Childhood by Annie Dillard. Was like, I know. There's like a whole chapter where she just discusses rocks, and it's like, most people think it's so boring, but I loved it.
What is your favorite genre to read?
Apart from horror, sorry, joking. I will read anything.
My go-tos are fantasy, like adult fantasy, and psychological thriller and horror.
I'm a really eclectic reader. I'm not sure is a genre that I shy away from at all. Although there's different times of the year, different times in my life that I may gravitate towards one genre over the other.
We're kind of seasonal readers.
Yes,
like
yes,
we
we are.
like contemporaries in the summer and like
And I
thrillers in the fall.
I rarely ever pick a contemporary.
Yeah.
Ever. Like summertime, people always read contemporary, but I'm like, give me like some nasty
Julie's reading like straight up murders. I gravitate toward literary fiction and YA. And I like my creepy books, but I don't like horror. So anyway.
I'll dabble in horror, but
Whatever, you've read it, and
You've read it.
Never read that.
I could not read it.
Yeah,
it wasn't that scary.
What?
This is a really hard question, guys. Favorite book of the year so far?
Oh, it's easy for me.
Oh, is it? It's really hard
easy
for
for
me.
me.
I don't.
Marlena by Julie Bunton. You guys are like,
No.
It's a coming of age, really beautifully written, dark, heavy book, and I fell in love with the writing. Like it took me forever to read because I was just rereading sentences and passages because it was so beautiful. Everyone should read it.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, and that's really bad, isn't it? Mrs. John Mandel.
Station 11.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what
That's
I
that is
It's
so
so good.
Yeah.
It's
I
one
need
of
to
my
read that
all-time
next.
favorites.
I thought that it was overhyped because everybody that I've heard talk about it said it was a really good book. But it's amazing. Like I've lent it to about 6 different people.
Yeah.
I just keep saying you need to read this book.
I have like multiple, like by genre. So Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, hands down for sci-fi. The Troop for horror, scared the
Did you
crap
read
out
that
of me.
this year?
Yep. And I'm so in love with the Live Ship Trader trilogy by Robin Hobb right now. Also, it's a really close call with Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. The ending of that book is mind-blowing. It was the best ending to a trilogy that I've ever read in my life. You didn't like it.
It's a good ending, but it's rubbish.
Oh my gosh, it was brilliant.
I read The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery this year and absolutely loved it. I think everyone on my channel knows that I love Anne of Green Gables so much, and the Blue Castle, it was so beautiful.
I
And
have
I
a
never read
confession.
it.
You've never read Anne of Green Gables?
I've never read
I
have never either.
How is this happening?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm friends with you.
But thank
I
you
feel
for the
like-
recommendation because I recommended that to people
Yes.
to read
Yeah.
because of you and your
And
love
she
of
loved
that.
it. Yeah, I know.
Aww.
I know. If you love Anne of Green Gables, you'll love The Blue Castle. And if you haven't read Anne of Green Gables, read it now. But the other book that I loved, and it's the kind of book that I just want to shove into everyone's hands, is Homegoing by Jess.
Which we read together.
We
So
did.
it is.
So
It's
that's-
incredible. That's a great one. That's a great choice.
I am Robin Hobb. See, I can't choose this one. Don't make me. What one obstacle have you gone through in your life that your reading has suffered the greatest from?
When my dad died last year,
That's a big one.
Yeah.
it totally. I went through a really big reading slump.
What brought you out of it?
Absolutely.
Oh, I started Booktube not long after that.
Stop it. I just got chill.
And you know, because my dad was a huge reader, and I had told him beforehand that my sister and I had started a book club, and he just thought that was the most amazing thing in the world.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Sorry, not to be like the Debbie.
I don't know if it's an obstacle, but just like busyness of life. I moved like 3 times in 3 years. Like big moves. I don't read when I'm stressed. So like busy seasons of life, I'm not the kind of person who reads to escape. I
That
like to
would be
read
my
when
answer.
I relax.
That's how, I read for escape, so at the most stressful times
That's when
in
you're
my
reading.
life, that's when I'm reading.
I have a question actually that this brought up. Why did you start your Booktube channels?
I started because I didn't know that Booktube existed. I thought that I was on the brink of something revolutionary.
You really did?
Yes, because I already did other videos.
Yeah.
And then I was talking with my husband James about why other videos that I could make, and he said, well, what is it that you like that is personal to you? And I was like, oh, I really like to read. But I had no clue that Booktube was a thing. And when I put my first video out there, I literally thought I was the first person in the world to ever make it.
I love it.
YouTube gives you recommendations based on the videos that you have made.
Right.
And I was like, oh. Okay.
Mine is not that great. I had been watching Booktube and I was like, I could totally do this. I don't know why I thought that about myself. I have nothing else going on. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't really have a life. Really?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sad.
I don't.
You guys were all like intense readers before Booktube, right?
Yeah.
See, I feel like starting my Booktube channel, I have read so much more than I did in the past. Like I was more of a sporadic reader, but for me, I think it was kind of similar where I stumbled upon Booktube somehow and was like, I could do this.
Yeah.
But also, I think this is kind of a typical answer, but I think I enjoyed reading, and I didn't have at the time. I do now, but at the time I didn't have a lot of friends who read that I
Yeah,
read.
and it's so wonderful. Like, you know, everyone says that, but I mean, like, look at us sitting here.
I
We
know.
would never have met each other without it.
I started mine. Maybe I don't want to share this one. I don't know.
Just
I
share
don't
it. I
know.
just
Why
told
you
everyone my
share it.
dad died.
I had a miscarriage.
Oh,
And
that's right.
yeah, I had a miscarriage, and I had stumbled upon Booktube somehow, and I can actually remember the first channel that I found. And then I watched it for a few months and decided that I needed an outlet. I had a really hard time getting out of that funk, and so I started a Booktube channel because it gave me something to focus on.
That it's crazy how something like that, like grief and things like that, can do that, because that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Wait, was that the month that your dad?
Yeah.
And that was the month.
That was
Whoa.
But we didn't know this at
Right,
the time.
right.
This
You
is
didn't know
something
each
we
other.
shared. Yeah, this
Later.
is something we shared together later.
Yeah. Okay.
We're getting real in this video. I kind of like it.
Who is your favorite literary heroine?
I gotta say Hermione.
I know.
How can you not say Hermione Granger?
I know.
Well, I wouldn't say him.
Tell us who you would say.
In Edge from Six of Crows.
I got it. Delilah Bard from
Delilah
The Darker Shade of Magic.
Or
from Robin Hobb.
I know. I was just gonna say I'm really enjoying almost all the female characters in Robin Hood, but especially Althea.
Althea, you're right.
All right. I don't know if everyone's gonna have an answer for this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. What is because I have an answer. What is your favorite historical fiction novel?
The Nightingale.
I was gonna say The
I
Nightingale.
love that. I love World War II historical fiction. It's the first one that I've read that is based purely from a female perspective.
Oh, yes.
And that you have two very different but strong female characters
Yeah.
as well.
Oh,
The Shadow of the Wind.
yeah.
Yes.
Historical fiction.
The Shadow of the Wind
That's
is
a
like
great
my all-time favorite book. So
For me, it's definitely Pillars of the Earth.
Yes.
That's my
Yes,
favorite.
yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. Historical fiction is not something I reach for often. I did really enjoy 1000 White Women.
Okay, so
Oh, do Stephanie's. Make sure
I know
you
I
put hers
will.
in
I
there.
know. Let's just answer these really quick. So I have to ask this one because my best friend just asked me. a
Oh,
question.
okay.
Do you listen to audiobooks, and does that really count as reading? I say yes.
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 Hands down counts as reading.
No.
Really? Oh.
I think reading is a
Sitting
physical
down.
paper or hardback, but a physical book
What
in your
about for
hands.
someone who-
Stephanie from That's What She Read asked a question, and she said, "What are you watching on Netflix?"
Riverdale, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm a little bit ashamed.
No, you go.
I am rewatching Parks and Rec because, full disclosure, I never finished it when it came out.
You were gonna say
Oh
it was
my
gonna
gosh.
be leaving Netflix or
Oh,
something.
no, no.
The
I think
Office
I'm
is
gonna
leaving
get
Netflix.
The Office.
Don't want to talk about
Yeah,
it.
we just finished Ozark, which was amazing.
Ryan
Highly
loves
recommend it. The first couple episodes are super dark, but it goes away from that. Like it tones down.
Okay, this is probably going to get an outcry, but I've never watched Gilmore Girls.
Me
I,
neither.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what do you think of it?
It's alright. I've had to take a break after I've watched 2 seasons and I've had to take a break because I find it a bit much. Yeah. But also old school, I'm rewatching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah! That's on Netflix?
That is on Netflix.
Do you write in books? Yeah. Do you write in
Yes.
books?
Yes, I'm starting to write more. I want to have those things.
I used to, and I don't as much anymore, but I'm trying to get back into it.
And you don't?
No.
Yeah, I don't either, but I wish that I could. Scott Rankin tweeted us this question, and Molly, give a little shout out to Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott is a friend of mine who is a young adult author. He just wrote his first novel published by, it was Penguin Random House. It came
already
out
on the
September
bestseller
12th. It's already on the bestseller list. It's a YA sci-fi book about space, and they're all gonna read it because
Yeah,
I'm
I
forcing
wanna read
them,
it. Yeah.
and you should read it too. But anyway, that's Scott.
Yeah. So Scott asks, is there a line from a book or poem that still stays with you, whether because it's inspiring or haunting?
I think there's one, and it's the beginning of a dedication, I believe is what it's called, at the beginning of Tiger Lily by Jody Lynn Anderson.
That's the one I was gonna say.
That's crazy. It says something like, for the girls with messy hair and thirsty hearts. And for some reason, I remember reading that like so vividly and being like, I love that. And it has stuck with me forever.
Which one was it? It was one of the Chronicles of Narnia books with C.S. Lewis, where he says something like, "One day you'll be old enough to love fairy tales."
Oh,
again.
the dedication. He's writing it to his goddaughter, and he says something like,
That's
Which I really love.
you know, by the time you read this, you may not like fairy tales anymore, but I hope that there will
One
come-
day you'll
one
be
day
old
you'll be
enough.
old enough to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
How
not
true
doing it
is
justice.
that?
Oh,
I know.
it's so true. It's such a beautiful quote, and I'm not doing it justice, but absolutely.
Yeah, mine's a bit stereotypical, but it's from Lord of the Rings, and it's not all who wander are lost, not all that glitters is gold.
So Rachel from the Shades of Orange
hey, Rachel.
asked, what is the creepiest or most disturbing book you've ever read? And that's such a Rachel question.
That is, and she probably knows my answer because that is hands down, without a doubt, Brother by Anya Alborn. Please how to pronounce the name.
I feel
Amazing.
like the creepiest one I've read, which isn't even that, it's more like disturbing, I guess, than creepy. The Dinner by Herman Koch, or
Coke. I don't know.
Yeah. Just because it's like they're just the worst kind of people.
Yeah.
Can I give an X-Files episode called
Yes.
Home it's about incest, and it's the most disturbing thing I've ever watched in my life. I'm trying to think about the darkest book I've ever read. I can't.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to think.
I know.
Probably Gone Girl is the darkest book that I've read. I wouldn't
Yeah,
veer
it's like-
towards a dark.
Yeah.
The ones that make your stomach hurt because it's just so, I don't know.
And see, I guess I would have to say it's it.
Oh no, I know. I read a book called Seas of Snow, which is about it's domestic violence basically,
yeah.
but it's abuse of a child.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It also goes into quite a lot of detail about
Oh,
the abuse of the child, and that's probably the most
Yeah.
horrifying thing that I've read.
We have one more question.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in a fictional world permanently from a book you've read, or would you like to just visit it? Which world and why?
Live. Hands down.
What?
Where?
Harry Potter.
I know Harry Potter.
I know. It's such a cop-out.
No, it's not, because here's the thing about Harry Potter that I feel like it's different from so many other fictional worlds, because in all those other fictional worlds in general, like whether you read fantasy or whatever, it's so terrible, and there's nothing to cling on to that's wonderful. And with Harry Potter, yes, there's Voldemort is taking over the world again, but the world itself is amazing, and it's so vivid and warm-hearted and magic. There's this magical spirit to it that is just so inviting.
Or the Night Court from Act
Yes.
Yes. Reese from the first book in the Night Court.
And that's a thumbs down comment happening right now.
I'm just always going to be waiting for my Hogwarts.
Well, without a doubt, like nothing could compare to that. But the Night Court and just
I love it.
You would want to be maybe because
wouldn't want
it's
it
too
to
much
be-
like you. So much is like your culture now.
It's like our everyday life with a little bit of magic thrown in.
Yes, and we fantasize that because it is
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, like Chronicles of Narnia, though. Like,
Yeah.
I would obviously live in Narnia.
Thank you for all your questions. Some questions are still coming in, so if we didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry. And
We'll try to answer on social media. So
Yeah.
the ones that we don't.
Yeah. We also filmed a video on Mollie's channel, so go check that out. And I will link all of these ladies' channels in the description box down below. So thank you guys all for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
And with that, although people are gonna be like, wasn't there wine?
We'll put this in.
How does my hair look right now?
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Pros.
Yeah, Rivendell.
The
With the
world.
elves.
Rivendell.
With the elves and Lord of the Rings, because I even have elf ears, guys.
Heck, guys, I'd live in Hobbiton.
Heck, guys.
Look at my ears, totally
Stop
different.
it. So happy.
Yeah, I have elf ears. I have elf ears. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, I thought you said you had like ears that you put on. That
No.
Are, like cosplay.
Elf
ears.
ears.
So I was like, what?
My ears are pointed. This
They
way.
are.
My elf
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Do you know, have you memorized the...
In West Philadelphia,
Born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days.
This is happening.
But you know, it was, I'll tell you, you don't have to put this in.
That is
Genuinely, until about a month ago, I thought it was shooting some meatballs. I didn't know that it was meatball. I think I was singing it, and James was like, what did you just say? It's meatball shaped.
God, I love that.
Okay, even if we weren't filming this video, that just made my life.